Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit with your boy Sophisticated Jerk. And today I'm gonna review the Sarah Fontenot, live that she did with her fiance. I think it was called From Friend to Fiance. And golly, people, y'all gotta stop doing this. I understand people wanna put their significant other on display, especially in Sarah's case, she was getting pushback, about like, man, you out here giving all this advice. You ain't even got no man and stuff. So I think she was like, fuck that. I ain't trying to go out like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, manless and about to have a kid artificially. So she was like, let me pull my man on here and, you know, uh, bombard him with some questions and shit. And I just think, man, there's better ways to do it. Like, man, drop a picture on Instagram. Cause I think, man, once you hit a certain age, man, you in your 30s, man, like you don't need validation and shit from other people and shit. It's just like, you know what, y'all can think what y'all want to. When shit goes down, y'all will see what happened. But there was some interesting stuff said in this interview because to me, man, I'm against the friend zone. Period. Because I'm just like, man, me personally, I'm never gonna do the friend zone shit. I'm like, hey, if I like somebody, I'm gonna go holler at them, and I understand they might be with somebody. I will fall back. Because I do respect people's relationships, but I'm not gonna sit there and be playing a friend zone, listening to the giving you advice about your current relationships and shit like that. So I do think sometimes when people do the friend zone thing, it's like they might have some interest in that person, but it's almost like they holding on to that person, like in case like their current relationships go sideways. It's like, okay, let me pull that person from the safety glass, since they got their stuff together, but they're not my primary option. And he was struggling trying to talk about what characteristics he liked out of her sometimes. He kept on mentioning beauty and stuff. So he kind of came off like he was infatuated with beauty and stuff like that. But this the reason why I'm like, man, stop doing these things, and mainly females, because they do be doing this stuff a lot. These shits look like a hostage situation. So, he looked like, them hostage videos where they got to read the note and they scared as hell and shit. And I don't think it does the best thing. That's what I'm saying, man. Just drop your photos and stuff, and then yeah, y'all be straight, man. People, have them down the line once y'all do cross that threshold. But yeah, it just looked like I said, it looked like a hostage situation. So let me go ahead and pull up the video and y'all kind of see what I'm talking about. But before we jump into this, let me give them some credit because man, like when she was talking about the money aspect, a lot of people was giving a pushback. I was one of me, and I think Mr. Let Go was like, nah, there's no issue with if you put yourself in a certain category that you want somebody that has they shit together also. Because I'm a dude and I don't mess with broke chicks. That ain't going down. So when some females, if they're in that group and they're like, hey, I do want a successful guy, I don't think that's a big issue because it's more or less, I think sometimes people want the mindset because it's like, hey, man, if we're both financially literate, we marry each other, we could grow faster, whatever. So I was like, nah, I was putting context behind it. Like I understand what she's saying and shit. But yeah, I think she was getting pushback for that. So that's why I think which led her to like, man, hold on, let me grab my boyfriend and put him on display and shit. Cause I want to get kind of like, stun a little bit on the haters and shit. So I feel her on that. But it's just like, man, there's subtle ways to do that. Cause if somebody ain't prepared and this shit could go left and people is gonna analyze it. Hey, we're YouTubers. If I come out here and did some shit like that, then people gonna analyze it. Same with other people and stuff. And I just think sometimes we get caught up in because I seen some guys do it too. Like when they're talking about leadership, they'll be like, go get their wife, tell them I'm a leader and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you don't have to validate yourself to nobody. Just, hey, talk about what you do and your relationships. And if people don't believe, they don't believe it. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Because I would just never pull my wife on something so she could like back up what I say or nothing, man. I'm not that insecure. Yeah, I don't give a damn if y'all believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? People pulling up receipts and stuff. Oh, here's my stuff. See, it's just like it's unnecessary. It just shows like, man, you kind of lack some confidence sometimes. And you know, like in this case, I feel bad for guys that got to kind of come in there and play cleanup sometimes because of like what people said that they stumbled. Because like I recently did a video and there was a lady on there. She was talking about like my money is my money and shit like that. So I did a breakdown, and then a week later, she pulled her husband in there, like, tell him I never came after your money and stuff. So it's just like, man, when people go jump out there and they say like crazy shit, sometimes they got to pull in that, like I said, they're the person they're with to try to like clean up they mess sometimes, and I think it's kind of fucked up. This is like, man, just watch what you say. You ain't got to say no crazy stuff. And, you know, you come off a certain way. It's just like, fuck it. Just stand on your points, man. But yeah, though, you should have to pull people in and stuff. But shout out to them though. Like going back to it, just shout out to them for like getting in a relationship, because I'm glad she ain't going out like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, because she out here with blonde braids, like I said, going to the clinic and shit. So at least Sarah is not in that. She took herself out that category. She's like, shit, I could pull somebody that's getting that bread. He's getting that chicken. So from what I heard, shout out to Darwin. He did a great breakdown. I saw MTR, he did a breakdown also. And they said, hey, he's official. He getting to that chicken like Bojangles. So shout out to, homie seemed like he got his shit together. But he was stumbling somewhat on some of these questions and shit. And it seemed like he kind of did pedestalize her a little bit, because he kept on emphasizing beauty and shit like that. And it shouldn't be too hard to describe what other qualities besides beauty that you see in somebody that you slap the label of fiance, because that means you going down that path. So that shit should be kind of ringing off your head. And I think, man, if it don't, because somebody just asked, I think it was M3. We was having a live one day and he was just asking me, man, what made your wife stand out? And I just broke it down to him. I was just like, it was her mindset, the way she talked about like family and different things like that. She was just not nurturing, but what's the other word I'm looking for? Where selfless, where she just, when I talked about like my goals in the program, she wasn't on there like, oh, well, I want this type of thing. It was just like, nah, that makes sense. Cause yeah, I want to, help you with that. Cause I want to pour into my family and stuff. So she wasn't one of the ones talking about she wanted a soft life or no dumb shit like that. So there's a lot of things you could say, because, like when you're a guy that got your shit together and you do have some game and stuff, because it sounds like Brock has some females, so I ain't gonna be coming at him like that. But it's just like pretty's kind of your norm, because a good portion of females that you're gonna come across, if you build yourself the right way, they're gonna be pretty. So you're not pedestal. You shouldn't be pedestalizing it no more, because that's your norm. So that's when you're able, like a guy that has your shit together, you're able to dig a little deeper in that mindset, the qualities, the characteristics and stuff like that. And just recently I did a review on Jason Wilson where he was breaking down like a virtuous woman, the proverb stuff. And, I kind of broke down that dynamic. I'm like, hey man, if you not in that mindset where you pedestalizing and you built yourself the right way, like I said, you could attract women. You're not sitting there just fixated on beauty, because it's just like, hey, the pool I'm able to attract are all going to be within that range of pretty anyway. So I ain't got to sit there and just make my decision off that. But it seems like sometimes he kept on overemphasizing the beauty part, where it's like, you might just be a little infatuated at this point. You might need to wait off a little bit. So let me jump into the video. I've been rambling enough.
Now, this is a very special, also slightly like scary, terrifying week, because we have a very special guest. Not only is he a serial entrepreneur, not only is he, out here doing his big one, making big changes, helping people get out of their way, creating access and opportunity for so many people. He also happens to be my fiance. So can we please give it up for Brock?
Hello.
Brock's like, oh shit. Shout out to Brock though, man. Like I said, it seemed like he doing a lot of stuff, man. So very successful. Shout out to him. Like, ain't mad at that at all. Like, get your bread.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this because I'm slightly terrified of this episode, mostly because you have no filter and you also just speak your truth.
You want me to put a filter on?
No, I want you to speak your truth. I want you to tell the truth. I'm
Oh
just
yeah, y'all
scared of
better
what
put
it
a
might
filter on,
be.
goddamn it.
I'm like, are we gonna look crazy?
We're gonna look like how we look.
This is the truth. By popular demand, that's how many people want you. They want to know who you are. And we just went public, or we're going public. And so now we're outside.
Where we need to be.
That's where we need to be.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being public on social media and you're not a social media guy?
I don't feel great about it, but that's the life you live, so I'm a part of it now. So I roll with the punches.
Okay. Oh, babe. Okay, here we go. Okay.
See what I'm saying though, man? Y'all damn near 40. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way in hell I would be like sitting there kikiing like some schoolgirls and shit. So yeah, man, don't do these, man. Like do a podcast with each other, but man, the whole why you like me type shit, I just think it's corny, man. If y'all slap the title of fiance and are you engaged, are you get married, like you obviously like the person to a certain degree. It's like, man, I ain't got to go in all them details if I'm willing to walk down this path with you, especially, homies getting bread like that. She said he's making like 7 digits a year or whatever. And you're willing to put that on a line, like, put your stuff at risk like that, getting with somebody. Obviously, you like them to a certain degree. So it's like, man, we ain't got to get on here and please these motherfucking fans. Like doing this corny shit. So nah, I feel like, man, especially guys that make it to a certain magnitude, it's just like, man, you don't bitch them up and put them in a situation like this. Cause man, it just seems so like, not saying that he's beta, but that's what it just puts you in that light when you're just responding to dumb shit. Cause it just, like I said, a lot of times it's coming from an insecurity. So it's just like, man, drop y'all photos when y'all kicking it, y'all enjoying life, and y'all doing big baller shit. And then eventually, like, just do a podcast. Y'all talk about like business or something, and where he could stunt and flex. That where you putting him in his like, in his strengths and shit. Where he's like, in his element. He's just like, hey, oh yeah, business. I do this, and this how you could get your shit structured. So that's how they should have probably came out. Versus like, what did you like about Sarah? Because it just seemed like high schoolish to me, man. Like, almost like that little, when you motherfuckers used to come around with the like piece of paper, you had to circle yes and shit. So that's what this stuff kind of just reminded me of.
How did you know? Okay, how does he know you're the one for him? And what was his approach to you? That's a question for me, huh? That's both of us. You go first. How'd you know I was the one for you? I'm scared.
How did I know? Well, I mean, I'm still getting to know.
Right.
I'm serious. Like, this is serious.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready. Please, I'm ready.
Because you could spend your whole life just deciding, is she the right one? Is this going to work out? I don't know. You go down the qualifications, you review your time together. We've been friends for so long, and I feel like I know just about everything about you. And I made the decision, to make you my fiance, and so now that I made that decision, I just work at it and just make sure that decision was the right decision. So as we get older, more time together, there is no bad decision in my eyes, like, because I'm gonna work every day to make sure it was the right decision. So
do you feel like you chose right?
yeah, so far so good.
Do you feel like I am the architect of a wife?
Let me pause real quick. So you see how like and I did see other people point out where, man, he ain't a YouTuber and he's not on social media a lot. So maybe he just stumbled because, I think they're just throwing the questions at him. But even then, man, it's just, man, fiance is a serious title. So it's like, man, when you get to that point, man, unless you rushed in, and like I said, a lot of times, man, I think people, man, especially guys do this a lot. It's just like, man, we see a pretty female and she exhibits like enough basic qualities, and dudes are like, okay, I'll take it. And we don't go them levels deeper that we need to. So not even saying like Sarah don't have it, but it's just like a lot of men, man. I'm telling you, because I got a lot of boys and stuff. They hit me up and we break down shit, and I'm just like, hey man, did you ask this? They're like, nah, I never talked. I'm like, damn, what y'all be talking about? So like that's what I'm saying. It's just like it seems like a lot of times guys just see a pretty chick and she's stable enough and they don't have a lot of requirements. So it's just like that's why they stumble when they asking these questions, because they're just like, oh, they don't want to just say pretty. But that's damn near what the measurement was. Like, man, okay, she was pretty and she didn't have she didn't have no kids and no shit like that. Or, she did appear to be like a 304 and shit. So really that's a lot of guys' basic baseline. And they don't, like I said before, when I was like, people ask me, man, I met my wife in my early 20s. I was like, man, it was her mindset. You know what I'm saying? So even though, yeah, there's that level of attraction, it's just like, man, to me, it's like, shit, I always was going to have a bad joint because of who I was. So I wasn't never mesmerized by that. I'm like, nah, where's your mind? Financially literate, you selfless, you got your goals of yourself, do they have some wisdom in there? So yeah, he was like, just stuck on that one.
Wife that everyone says.
Oh,
Like,
what?
did you know I was a wife before? Like, obviously we're not married, but were you like, oh, that's a wife?
Definitely.
Really?
That's probably why it took me so long to get to this point, because
That sounds backwards.
because you got to think about how a man works, right?
Okay.
If you're not ready for something, you will fumble it. So yeah, 2 years ago, me knowing that you're a wife, and if I pursued you and we got into some situation and I wasn't ready for you, I would have fumbled you. I would have mishandled you. So, I've always known you were a wife, and I've told you this before. I kind of like felt like I had you in my back pocket. Like I was just like, oh, I might have to come back to that and see, when I'm ready for it. And
I forgot to mention in the beginning, this is the first time I think they made like internet history where a man and a female both friend zoned each other. Because typically it's one sided, where it's like like the female typically friend zones the guy. Like I said, it's just like, okay, you know what? Let me explore my options. Like this guy's he's balanced, he's good, definitely a good prospect, but I'm still not getting the butterfly. So let me go out here and explore a little bit. But it sounded like this motherfucker friend zoned her too. So it sounded like they both like with somewhat plan Bs for each other. It's like, hold on, let me explore a little bit. So Brock was using a lot of jargon and buzzwords and shit. Because, like I said, a lot of times I get it. People don't want to say shit, but Brock was out here slinging dick. Brock was like, look, I'm getting money. I was out here. They said Brock like 6'7". Brock was annihilating these mugs out here.
now I feel like I'm ready. So that's why we're taking this step.
What makes you ready now?
It got a lot to do with time. It got a lot to do with, your timing too, because you weren't always ready either.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. Pause. Rewind. What does that mean?
You
Come
know
on
what
now.
that means, Sarah.
No, what does that mean?
Sarah.
Please.
We both had trust issues.
Yeah.
You told me before, like you the biggest professional runner out here.
True.
So, we both had to, grow up a little bit
Yes. Okay.
and be ready for each other.
Yes. True.
And, and in my case, like what made me get there a little bit faster is probably the risk of losing you. So I'm like, at some point, somebody's gonna see exactly what I'm seeing and try to take my spot. So I'm like, let me go ahead and solidify it now.
It's a better.
Yeah, that was he definitely kind of put her on the spot a little bit. Brock was like, shit, you had them running shoes on. Where was she running from, Brock? So deeper in like later on, you're gonna see because it's gonna kind of circle. It's gonna start making some sense. I'm gonna point it out. So remember this part right here, how they kind of talk about this, and he was talking about like he was scared to lose her and stuff because Sarah was kind of playing some chess out here. So you gonna see what I'm talking about because like Sarah put that pressure on him, like, hey, you don't jump on this now, like. I got another one lined up, man. I'll be married in a year. And she says that. So that's why I look, like I said, he kind of was infatuated by like the beauty because the fact that they kind of said that, like, I didn't want to lose you. And she kind of laid out the scenario like that. But let me go ahead and keep jumping into this.
Answer now. It started off a little rocky, but that was good.
Yeah, you got to come full circle. You got to hear the whole story.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what made me stand out from the rest of the ladies you dated?
Well, first thing, like I said, it's a prototype of a wife in my head.
Okay. What is that?
It's like, you know, I got friends, I got my homies and group chats. Like we all have this idea.
It's like a man thing.
It's a man thing. Like you know a wife when you see one. Like if you're in a grocery store, you in the gym.
Kenny, do you agree? Okay.
I disagree with that. Because if people knew what a wife was, man, we wouldn't have such. You could just spot them, you know. So I think sometimes people are just talking about how people dress. So maybe that might be an indicator. But man, you got to have some deep conversations. You got to see if y'all align, whether it's spirituality, like I was talking about earlier, finances. It's like, man, them discussions got to be deep. So off of just some looks and shit, without having no conversation, that's bullshit. But it sounds good sometimes because it like helps build that fairy tale up. Yeah, when I saw you, I just knew you were the one. Like, no, I know you look good and I was interested, but yeah, until you have them conversations, man, like people got to knock it off. Because this is why I think sometimes it does hurt a lot of people when they get fixated on the fairy tales because it's just like we want to. I think since we watch so many romance movies and shit, we try to pitch the fairy tales ourselves. Like, oh no, I just knew when I first saw this person. Man, I've been married over 20 years to my wife. I ain't know shit when I seen her. Till we started having them conversations. I was like, man, she's attractive. Then we had them conversations. I was like, oh, okay, shit. Damn, she's different. You know, she talks about things different. But yeah, I wouldn't know shit. I seen her in a store one time. I was like, okay, she's cute, man. I'm gonna go holler. I ain't know a fucking thing at that point. So yeah, people gotta stop playing with these fairy tales and shit. When she had a I'm a wife shirt on or something like that, that'd be the only indicator you had. And even then, you gotta question this shit.
Like, you're not a wife yet, but the prototype of a wife, the qualities of a wife, you can see that from a mile away by just looking at a woman.
Okay.
And so I always had that feeling towards you that, okay, that's a wife. And like I said, that's why I didn't choose to prematurely like pursue you.
Okay.
Because when you're not ready for something,
you'll fumble it.
And then you mishandle something earlier, you might not ever get that chance again, or that trust is broken back then, you might as well stay in the friend zone or whatever the case is. So
damn, that nigga said stay in the friend zone.
What's the question again?
Let me go back. What made me stand out from other women?
Yeah, so you know, it's you know, just seeing women out in public, it ain't a whole lot of wives out there.
Mm-hmm.
So automatically you stood out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, just me looking at my life and how I've built myself up, I've always had an idea of what I want my life to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you definitely fit that description.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you're a rare breed. So, you know, even breeding, I thought about that. I was just like, we probably have some nice kids. You know, we've had some good looking kids. And then so all of that come into play when you thinking about the woman you want to ask to be your wife. Like, you know, so you hit all those boxes.
Okay. You want to ask me any question about that or no? Should I just continue?
No. You tell me why you think.
You got to ask me the question directly.
Okay, so how did you know I was the one?
Can I tell a real answer?
Give it to me.
Okay, my real answer is because obviously I've said before 1,000 times I have a fear of commitment. And I feel like we have been friends, but we've always had chemistry and we've always had energy. And it's like I felt like I hated that I loved you. And I've actually had that conversation.
What kind of dumb shit? That's why I said, man, I think sometimes, man, people feel like they got it. That shit sound like a 90s R&B song. I hate that I love you or some shit. Like, that's what came to your mind? Like, I ain't the flyest motherfucker out here. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes it's like, it's all right to be like, man, you stood out. Then when I had that conversation with you, man, you just, your intellect was on a different level. Like, I hated that I loved you. It's like they dancing around and trying to sound too polished and shit, man. So yeah, that was a weird response.
Nisa knows, like I've had
I
that
knew you was gonna
conversation
say that.
with a lot of people. Like I hated that I loved you because I knew that you weren't ready, but I loved you. And it was like, okay, well, he could just be my friend. So you were actually in my back pocket too, for the record.
Told y'all they friends owned each other.
But why did I choose you? Because I feel like you have seen every version of me. Jesus, I might need Q-tips.
Do I need to go?
I need a napkin. I feel like, real talk, I'm not gonna cry. I might cry because I'm a cry baby. No, I just need a napkin, please. I feel like
Motherfucker
you've
bossy
seen
as hell, ain't she?
every version of me, like every version of me, like the worst versions of me. And you've always still, yep, come on in. Thank you.
Love you, Sarah.
I love you too. You've always still like been there and like chose me and reinforced and like encouraged and uplifted and whatever it may have been. Because I feel like for me, I'm the kind of person that I don't have bad days often, but when I do, I'm really heavy. And even when I've gone through, like, you know, when I was traveling and shit was hitting the fan, or when like any of the things that were happening, you've always been like a place of solace for me. And the fact that I can literally talk to you about anything and you've never judged me, you've never wronged me, you've never tried to shape me. I just trust you. I think that we're obviously learning this new version of us, but I chose you because in my past, I've always just powerfully chosen. And I'm like, I can build the love. Love is easy. Love is great. And then I get in those relationships and it's like, okay, I'm choosing this person, but then over time, it's like, I don't want to be with this person. And with you, I powerfully chose you and I already love you. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like as long as we stay in alignment, like it's kind of giving untouchable. It's giving like I actually like you and love you goals. And I just pray that we stay in this version of us and evolve inside of this a new version of us that's like, you know, that, because I really do feel like we have something special, because I feel like we have a great foundation. I actually feel like we kind of, okay, go ahead. Okay. And can you leave your phone? Oh, just kidding. You got to take over with the chat if there's more questions.
I have
Kyla.
a question.
Okay.
What exact moment did you realize he's the one? I got tunnel vision now.
When he made a real commitment, that's when I had tunnel vision. Because I told him, can I be candid?
Go for it.
We gonna just tell.
And this is the segment where I'm like, man, this is where it was kind of a, I'll say weird description, because what she's about to break down was what I was saying earlier in the clip or this recording and shit, where she's talking about, she kind of gave him an ultimatum, but it was like she was talking to another guy. And with me, it's like if anybody ever came at me is like, hey, I'm talking to another guy and you don't hurry up and get with me, I'm dead in that right then and there. And not to say, like, I know when you get with somebody early, everybody's kind of talking, getting to know people, but I feel like if a female truly likes you and she senses something in you and she just has that attraction, she's gonna dead everybody else off pretty quick. So for her to kind of prolong it, it was weird. But let me play it so y'all can get to it. I'll break it down some more.
the story.
We out here. We outside.
Ooh, child. Okay, so I was talking to other people and I was down to two. It was him and another man. And both of them are great men. Although I thought that the other man was much more marriage minded than he was. And I was having conversations with both of them. Now, mind you, he was also still dealing with other women, not dating seriously, but having fun being a single man. I expect a man to be a man, right? And so inside of that time, it really wasn't very long from when we got exclusive with each other to then now we got proposed. He proposed. It was literally like, no, it was not long. It was like this, to be honest. But I told him.
But see that, just real quick. So when she was like, it's almost like she was measuring up to two. So like I said, I could see early in the process where, like, say you just meet somebody, you're like, all right, man, I like this person. I'm still getting to know other people. But when you get to the point where you're like, this guy's marriage minded, he's messing around, and you're still like holding on to that. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like, which one do I like a little bit more? And then let me make that decision. It's almost like she was treating this shit like a game show or something like that. So that's why I said a lot of times, I think sometimes like the person, and I don't know in her case, but it's like, say somebody option A, the person they really want, it don't work out because that person might be like, hey, look, I'm not ready. Then they go to that fallback, that friend zone person. So that's why, like, I'm just saying this to the other guys that be listening in. Never play the friend zone. Because if somebody, you be direct, I like you, I'm interested, and you pull up, and if that person don't like you at the time, you keep it pushing, man. Don't sit there. I'm not trying to listen to your stories of your current boyfriends and playing that out. It's like, man, you gotta have a little bit of dignity and stuff like that. So that's where she's like kind of breaking down, and it's just like, yeah, I just feel maybe I'm wrong, man. But like I feel like if somebody like likes you, man, they're gonna, and they see you and they have you with that light, they gonna drop their shit. There ain't gonna be really two guys that far in the process. So because it's like, man, if you saying fiance and shit, I mean, y'all was talking for a minute.
I'm ready to be married. I want to be married in a year. Do you remember that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go for you? Like in your mind, what did I say?
You definitely said you didn't think I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to make a decision, like,
Damn.
you know,
So that's what I'm saying.
do I just let you go?
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably gonna be married in a year,
Mm-hmm.
or make the decision, And I told you what I thought about you and this other dude.
And I quote that. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. Yep.
So
And this clip right here. She put him on her timeline. And that's what I'm saying. It's almost like she used the other guy as like pressure for him to make his decision. Cause she was like, look, you ain't ready, blah, blah, blah. I want it in a year. I'll probably be married in a year. So that means like the way she's proposing it, it's like, hey, I'm kind of serious with this guy and I'm about to move forward if you don't get in line, pretty much. So he just didn't want to lose it. So that's where he was like, all right, man, let me drop everything. So it wasn't like kind of an organic process where he was just like, man, I really like this girl. Let me get my stuff in line. So this why might be a red flag on this situation right here.
And I was like, do you understand what you're saying to me? Like, you're telling me to release someone that wants what I want. And then he was like, see, that's your problem. You think y'all want the same thing. He actually was really profound in these moments. And then shortly after,
I'm always profound first.
And so like right here, he's damn near pleading with her. Like, man, y'all don't want the same thing. So you kind of took I'll say like a submissive stance in this case, because she's like, hey, this guy, you want me to release him? Are you, you know what I'm saying? So listen to the language. You want me to release a guy that wants what I want? And he's pleading his case. So that's why I'm saying this is the part where I'm like, damn, man, y'all, this is why I don't do this shit. Because, when you talk and you sometimes reveal like some truths using the terminology that you use and shit. So yeah, like to even be in a situation where somebody's like, this is what it is, I'm talking to this individual and they applying that pressure to you, that's not a good look. Because yeah, if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, this is what," I'm like, "You need to take your ass on with them." I'll be cool with losing that because I'm never going to be in a situation where somebody's leveraging a whole nother dude to try to push me on their timeline. So yeah, nah, if you in that situation, yeah, you definitely ain't leading that shit. She's like, look, and who knows what was being said to the other guy because maybe that same leverage was being pushed towards him, and he was like, "Fuck that, go get with Brock," because I ain't on nobody's fucking timeline. I'm good. So yeah, that this wasn't a good look right here.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Okay. I'm gonna let you be great. I'm gonna let you be great because that's my man. But I think that I was really in a space of I didn't want to hurt anyone also. And but I know that I'm in a season in my life where I'm ready. I'm ready to be a wife and have a husband. And then we had a real conversation. Next thing you know, we're together. Next thing you know, we're engaged. And I think it's funny because in complete transparency, I've had women that have created fake pages messaging me about you, thinking that their timeline and my timeline intersect because it was close. I don't care.
Wait, really?
Hold on, we gonna go back. I gotta hear this like breakdown one more time.
Conversations. How'd it go for you? Like in your mind, what did I say?
You definitely said
Okay, go ahead. And can you leave your phone? Oh, just kidding. You got to take over with the chat if there's more questions.
I have a
Kyla.
question.
Okay.
What exact moment did you realize he's the one? I got tunnel vision now.
When he made a real commitment, that's when I had tunnel vision. Because I told him, can I be candid?
This hurts me for Brock, man. Cause yeah, man, this ain't no punk and Brock session. Cause my man hit these heights. But man, I'm one of those people, man. I want to see men just in a powerful position. That's why I get so much pushback on like tricking and all that stuff. Cause I'm like, man, if y'all get y'all shit together and you hit certain heights, man, you never should be in a position where it's like I said, they leveraging shit and you're pleading. Like, man, we gotta be strong, so that's why I'm like, damn, man, just hearing this is like, Brock, nigga, you like, that's why I'm saying, man, if I was in Brock's corner, I'd be like, Brock, fuck that. If I would have heard this live, I would be like, Brock, we gotta move on. I'm that homie. Like, I would have been hitting him up on the jack, like, hey, Brock, I know you ain't never told this story before, but you got to keep it pushing because you might have been option B. Because it shouldn't somebody like you and they like I said, they had that attraction. They dropping that, they would have been just into you. And then if, they would have seen that would have moved on, then they would have probably moved on after that. But like leveraging somebody, that's a very masculine thing, man. That's what I'm saying. Like now that I'm hearing it again, I'm like, God.
go for it.
We gonna just tell the story?
And Brock's a winner, so he shouldn't be in this position.
Okay, so I was talking to other people and I was down to two. It was him and another man. And both of them are great.
Maybe I just got too much pride, man. Because I'm like, man, I ain't in no fucking game show. What's this, the Game of Thrones? Like you pinning us against each other and shit? Like, nah, I'm out. Yeah, so as soon as like I'm talking to two, I'm like, what? Yeah, fuck that.
Men. Although I thought that the other man was much more marriage minded than he was. And I was having conversations with both of them. Now, mind you, he was also still dealing with other women, not dating seriously, but having fun being a single man. I expect a man to be a man, right?
And homie was smashing too, because if you're sitting there, you're looking at the marriage element and all that. Come on, like knock it off. Like, yeah, I wasn't just talking and where you're like leveraging these two guys together. So that's why I'm saying, Brock, come on, Brock.
And so inside of that time, it really wasn't very long from when we got exclusive with each other to then now we got proposed. He proposed. It was literally like, no, it was not long.
Wow.
It was like this.
That's because she scared the shit out of Brock. She was like, look, Brock, you don't get with me, you don't get on this timeline. Homie's over there chomping at the bits to walk me down that aisle, Brock. So Brock was like, hey, shit. Next day, like after she probably cut off homie, he was at Zell's and shit, picking out rings.
To be honest. But I told him, I'm ready to be married. I want to be married in a year. Do you remember that conversation? How'd it go for you? Like in your mind, what did I say?
But that's a lot of, like I said, see, that's what I'm saying. She's like, look, I want to be married in a year. This is how it's gonna happen. Shit, Brock just along for the ride at this point. Brock just is like, look, I don't want to lose her. She's beautiful. She's attractive. Shit, take the lead, guide this motherfucker.
You definitely said you didn't think I was ready, and I had to make a decision. Like, you know, do I just let you go, and you're probably gonna be married in a year, or make the decision, you know? And I told you what I thought about you and this other dude.
And I quote that
Brock started hating. Brock was like, man, fuck it. What they call it with, man? The dude in the friend zone be putting the bug in their head, man. Is that dirty macking? Brock was out here dirty macking. Brock was like, look, man, that motherfucker, hey, he don't want to settle down. That motherfucker just trying to clap cheeks, man. Damn, Brock, shout out to Brock. Brock was like, shit, I'm determined to get my chick.
That's what he said. Yep.
So
And I was like, do you understand what you're saying to me? Like, you're telling me to release someone that wants what I want. And then he was like, see,
it's that, man. Listen to the terminology, release. Like, man, like she got like motherfucking accessories and shit. Brock, you want me to release this guy? Are you ready, Brock? like these are her like subordinates and shit. That's what I'm saying, man. Like that's why I'm like when y'all listen to terminology, man, and you hear it, Brock, you got to bounce. And I ain't trying to be mean, but when people say like she released that guy like in the wilderness, like he was like a elk and shit.
your problem. You think y'all want the same thing. He actually was really profound in these moments. And then shortly after,
I'm always profound, first of all.
Excuse me.
I don't know about that, Brock.
I'm gonna let you be great.
I'm gonna jump to this part, but this is where they start talking about the age thing. I thought it was a pretty interesting conversation. I know a couple people covered it, but yeah, like my bad. Brock was kind of like giving some reality to this whole age thing.
This is what I will say, because technically, according to the internet, I'm cooked. I'm above 35. I've never been married. I don't have children, which says I'm a red flag. Why would you, a man that has all of these options, a lot of the options, also indulged in some options, why would you choose a woman that is 37 instead of a woman that is 27? Is that a good question?
That's an amazing question.
Great.
That is a good question. It's a good one. Whoever wrote that one. Why would I? Just saying an age is one thing. It's who's the age attached to. You know, this age that we talking about, 37, is attached to Sarah. Like, it ain't too many of you at any age. So wherever you can get her at, you better take her. You know, I just so happy to get you at 37. You know, I would have took you at 27. I would have took you at, you know, whenever I can get you. You know, but at the same.
See, that was a good response because 37 or 20. If you gave me the two, I'm taking the 37. I can't mess with no young broke chick. They should have probably like just chopped the whole interview down into this segment because he started warming up. He was kind of cooking right here, so I agree with him on this stance.
Same time, now that I have you at 37, the benefits of that, you know, I would say you are wise.
Thank you.
you are like we talk about a lot of stuff, not just business wise, just different experiences that you've had that maybe I haven't had and you can tell me about. Or you really know yourself now. Like I would never go for this, or I've already tried this before and I know I would never do that. So you know yourself so well, and the experiences that you coming with are like super valuable.
But why wouldn't you want a young woman who is malleable?
Just to give him some credit, I would go for wisdom and knowledge, just over like the young shit. So I think he did a good job. So this is some of the shit like when they was asking like this is what you should have kind of been mentioning in the beginning. So maybe he's just warming up and stuff, but this is the stuff I would have be said. And if they would have asked me like how would I have known, my wife was the one or something like that, it would have been some of this stuff.
Like who you can form into whatever it is that you want. Why would you want a woman that's technically cooked? Is there value in a woman that's cooked?
Yeah, the value in your experience, the value in your connections, yeah, there's a lot of value in you.
Okay. Well, why not someone that's 27?
Well,
Don't they have value? Can't they have the same connections?
Connections take time, so and it's pros and cons with both, to be honest.
Tell me the cons.
The
for
cons
us.
with a 27-year-old.
For both.
Let's do 37.
Okay.
The cons in a 37-year-old, not necessarily you, but just a 37-year-old. You could be broken. Like I said, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about just a 37-year-old.
Why would a 37-year-old be broken?
She could have been broken. She's been through so many heartbreaks. Guys that have done her wrong, she could be broken.
Touche. Okay, do the healing.
Translation: she's been through a lot of dicks. Now she's bitter, angry at men because like she's gonna lock one of them guys down. So yeah, that's what he wanted to say, but he's polished it up. So his shit is actually probably better for YouTube and stuff. But that's what he wanted to say.
What if she's not broken? I don't know.
What if she's not broken?
I feel like a 27-year-old is more likely to be broken than a 37-year-old.
Why?
Because a 27-year-old is still figuring themselves out. A 37-year-old, we know who we are. We're not getting broken anymore. I think, as a woman.
I think.
See that statement right there? That only depends if like the female is wise and knowledgeable. She made like good selections where she wasn't jaded and stuff. So yeah, that would be correct. But there's a lot of people that made a ton of bad decisions. They're not that wise at that age. So like some person that's at 27 might even be wiser than that person. So that's where it kind of undercuts that statement right there. Because yeah, it ain't all, same thing with guys. It ain't all guys at a certain age wiser than a younger guy. I could show you some guys that's in their 20s that will run laps that make better decisions than a lot of older guys. So
I think a 27-year-old or 25-year-old, like they haven't seen everything yet. They haven't experienced everything yet. So they don't think the world is, so dark because they haven't, had their heart broken as many times, whatever the case is. And, they probably have a easier outlook on what a man would do for them, or what a man, does he really love me? I think when you're older, sometimes you bring a lot of baggage.
Like what, kids?
Kids is big, or just baggage as in just past traumas.
You don't feel like young women have past traumas?
They just don't have as many because they hadn't lived as long.
So what's their cons for young women?
A younger woman, just
before he jumps into the young women. And I think a lot of when the guys are now like, man, we ain't trying to be like stepdaddies and shit. People are getting upset about that. But man, if I had like a female friend and say she was single without no kids, and she was about to talk to a dude with kids, I would tell her not to do it. Cause it is a lot of it's baggage. So like say if I had a kid, it's not gonna be baggage to me because that's my kid, but somebody else coming in that situation, they gotta take on some like responsibilities, extra responsibilities. Man, it's fucking baggage. So yeah, people just gotta understand it. And I think the good thing people kind of vocalizing this stuff are talking about it out here, like, hey man, like I don't want that. I think it does help people make, especially the younger ones coming up. They're starting to think about like, man, I ain't trying to have no kids because I know like a lot of people do view that as baggage. So let me move a little wiser. So it's starting to have some impacts. So when people want to shut down a lot of these conversations and shit, and they get all upset, it's like, nah, man, it ain't about you. You probably already made your decisions, but we want to like help the other people out. So we're gonna be frank with it. And I'm glad guys are starting to communicate like, man, what they willing to tolerate and what they not. Because it is helping people maneuver different. And like I said, same thing with I hear a lot of women say a lot of time, I don't want to be no stepmom either. So I don't got no issue with that either. I tell them all the time, I'm like, don't take on no burdens if you don't have to. Go find that person that like lines up with you. So create your own baggage together.
Being naive, you know, being not as stable in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It kind of sounds like a 27-year-old is better. Because what I'm hearing, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy. I mean, I know you're not talking about me in particular, but it sounds like more older women come with baggage. They come with more trauma. Yes, they might have more stability, but that's not really something that men are seeking. And it sounds like younger women are more naive, which means they're probably more fun, which means they probably aren't so set inside of who they are, and they have more time to give you children.
all good points.
Right. So why would you choose me? Let's take it out of general and make it into you and I, a 37-year-old over a 25-year-old.
Because it's you, Sarah.
No, I want to know.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the age has nothing to do with it. I'm choosing Sarah. Like I have to get you where I met you at.
Okay, so for a woman,
He did kind of have that, like when he was like thinking about the pros and cons, like he's like, shit, I might have to jump back on this market and might get on Plenty of Fish or something.
okay, so give me qualities of a me for women to say, okay, this is what I get to work on, so that whether you're 27 or 37, a man like you that has a ton of options, and women literally do everything for you for nothing from you, which is crazy to me. How do they bag that man? Does that question make sense? Like, is that a useful question?
Can you reword it maybe?
What they should ask is like, how one of these old motherfuckers get a guy that got his shit together? That's pretty much what she asked. No, she's just talking about like what qualities he's looking for. But I got what she was saying. Like a guy that's like out here single, what qualities should they have?
Like, because the internet is weaponizing age, and it's weaponizing singleness, and it's making women that are older feel like Paul Pierce says we're cooked, right? Once we hit 35, really 33, or really 30.
See, that's where, man, ain't nobody weaponizing age. It's just people are talking about the realities that they dealt with. So a lot of times, like people a certain age, men and women, are stuck in their ways. So it's just like, man, when you sit there and you're like, nope, I'm not going to do this. 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 And somebody gets in that situation and they say like, because a lot of people want somebody that got their shit together too. The tolerance level when you get older is just, it's slim on both sides. So it's just like, if you get with a guy and everything is no, and it's got to be my way, you don't leave like room for like any compromise and shit, he gonna be up out of there. Because when you get older, man, especially for men, it's just like you stop kind of pedestalizing vagina. Because we all done had our experiences, been in other relationships. So you're just not sticking around for like things like that. Like I said, you're looking for different qualities now. You're looking for like agreeableness. You're looking for So when I had to be naive, it's just like, damn, like, are you pleasant to be around? Are you easy to deal with? Do you got a personality? Because you'll find a lot of people that like has their good careers, but they're assholes. They're kind of uptight all the time and shit. It's like they could never leave the job. So it's just like that's the stuff that people are communicating. But so it's just like they're not weaponized it. It's just they're letting people know, like, I don't want to deal with none of that shit. I'm kind of in that phase of my life where like I'm good. I done been in other relationships. Like, I ain't tolerating no bullshit. So that's what guys are saying when pretty much like a lot of the females that can't self-reflect, they're cooked. But I mean, like, for example, what Brock is communicating, he's like, Sarah, you're different because, yeah, it might look like some red flags, but you got personality, you're wise, you're cool to be around. So that's why she's not kind of separating it at that point. That's what he's trying to tell her. Like, hey, nah, you're different because you don't have a lot of those negative qualities and shit that a lot of other females might have.
We hit 30, we're cooked, our eggs are dried up, we're no good, nobody wants us anymore, right? So why have you now, a man that has options, you have money, you have a huge house, you have investments, you're handsome, you're 6'7¾", you got a lot of, you surpassed the 4 6s, all of them, and there's way more than that, right? So why would you or someone like you that has options choose to lock in with someone that is older?
So I'm just gonna reword it a little bit. I'm choosing to lock in with Sarah, right?
Okay.
And what do you do for me? What makes me choose you over anybody else?
Yes.
It's the way you make me feel, like when we together. Just how rare you are, even though the age, having no kids, the life lessons, that you've demonstrated to me just, in the time that we've been together. I just know that with us together, like how stronger I'm going to become because of you. Like the motivation, like the push, I feel you so happy and jolly that it just automatically like transitions to me. Like, so, you say it all the time, like I'm a grumpy, whatever. Like you wake up and you like,
grumpy.
hello, and all of this, and and that automatically like transitions to me, and it makes me feel in a better place. Like, so it's a lot of intangible things that I can't even just articulate like
We'll
that.
try for the women
I'm
at
trying.
home because they want to know, how do they get a man? How do they get a 7-figure earning, 6'7" tall, freaking fit? I ain't gonna talk about what's mine and all the other things. How do they? I'm not, because I don't want nobody gunning for my man. Thank you very much.
You already know,
But I
they
say
said
that to
7
say,
figures, they coming.
Like what is
Brock
a
could be out here
man
dodging
like you?
vaginas.
Because a lot of people in our circle are like you. Well, not like you, but
Right, I'm finna say.
they ain't like you, but you know what I mean. But how
How do they do it?
what are the intangibles?
I don't know. They can't. It's hard. I'm sorry.
No, you gotta give hope, babe.
I'm giving hope.
That's zero hope.
It's the crazy thing about it is the women that qualify, they know. They already know.
Okay, so for the young women,
The people that we speaking to probably just not it.
okay, so I agree with you. How do they become it?
If they are in a 37s and they ain't in that capacity, they ain't in a proximity of people, like he said, man, it's not gonna happen. Or even on the vice versa, it'd be like a broke guy thinking he gonna date supermodels that's like out of shape. He got no attraction. It's not gonna happen. So he's right on that. Cause like a lot of times, like I said, it's just like, man, definitely attraction is important to a lot of guys, but the personality and the agreeableness, and not to say like naive, because I think sometimes people think like, oh, I gotta like lose myself. Guys ain't talking about that, especially when you get later. You're just like, man, like, can we work together where shit just ain't always one-sided and there's some level of reciprocation? You know, that's what most guys want. So, but I think a lot of females have a hard time advertising that. That's what the issue is.
I don't know, man. Y'all got me feeling like Kevin Samuel or something. You know, be reincarnated. I don't know. It's you. It's hard out here, y'all.
You just gonna leave them on no hope?
How do you asking
Can
them?
you give them 5 characteristics or traits? 5 that a man is looking for in a woman. That's a fair question.
All right. Beautiful.
Okay, I agree with that.
In shape.
I'm gonna lump that with
Let's go
beautiful.
with beautiful.
It's our
just-
first rule.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Being a like I said, you the nicest, jolliest person I know.
Sarah is not nice. She's
I'm
Who?
kind.
She may not be nice to you.
I'm saying she's kind.
I'm not a pushover, is what she's
No,
saying.
she's not a pushover.
that's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
and I've heard you say this before. Like, that's your version of nice. Nice, polite, just a joyful person to be around.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
That's fair.
that's what I mean.
Okay.
Just being a joyful person.
Okay.
We got 2 down. Having some good, sex helps.
No, because we don't teach women to have sex quickly.
Oh,
We didn't have sex quickly.
all right. So take that away then. What's another quality? Being available.
No.
What? Not a hoe.
Okay. Not promiscuous.
That helps.
Okay, beautiful fit, joyful disposition. Don't be promiscuous. This is good. We're getting somewhere.
We getting somewhere.
Okay. Do you care if she's smart? Would you rather have?
Yeah, I care if she's smart.
Would you rather have a beautiful idiot, meaning her IQ is low, or a universally unattractive woman that's nurturing, loving, caring, there for you, it's supportive, encouraging, and successful monetarily?
I'd rather have a beautiful idiot.
That's 2-0 right now.
Brock said, I want a bad bitch. I don't care about none of them other
Honest.
I'd
characteristics.
rather have a beautiful idiot than
Ugly smart woman.
nurturing girl. That's
Yeah, I don't like the term nurturing, but if they would have been like ugly and she was like joyful and she had some bread, I'm going with the ugly chick. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't do the beautiful idiot that's broke. I'm out.
just me. Like
It's
that's
not just you. I feel like we're asking all the men this, and they're all saying the same
But
thing.
why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why
Men
would
are
you-
aesthetically leading.
I don't need you to calculate my math problem. Why? I nurturing is cool, but we got Uber Eats too. I would love to have all of it. Don't get me wrong. Give it to me. Give me beautiful, smart, nurturing, all of that. But if I had to choose between an ugly girl that got it all and a beautiful girl that got some of it, I'm gonna take the beautiful girl.
Okay, what about you, Sarah? Would you choose an ugly man?
See, that's I can answer that for you.
Versa. What would
I
you
can answer
say?
that for you.
I'm curious.
You gonna answer it for me?
Yeah. Oh, so would she choose a ugly man that had it all
Yes.
versus a handsome guy?
That has nothing? Absolutely not.
He has nothing.
Well-
He got something.
Maybe 30%.
She gonna go with the ugly guy.
Right.
sure.
I know this for a fact.
10,000%.
Yeah, she gonna go with the ugly
Because
guy.
women aren't aesthetic. Women want safety and security. Just because you look good, you can't do nothing for me, with me.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
get it.
point. I don't want you.
And we the opposite.
That's a hazard. And men are aesthetic. So I'm not surprised. Masculine men are aesthetic. Feminine women are seeking safety and security. It's just the laws of nature, you know? Like, and it's not that one is bad or the other's right or wrong, or there is none of that. It's just human nature for the most part. And if you're willing to be honest, this is why I always say that women.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. And so that's pretty much the sum of their whole interview and stuff like that. So, like I said, man, they start warming up towards the end. But yeah, I think people need to stop doing these things, man. It's like you ain't, man, just be in y'all relationship, build up. Like, man, y'all could collab on different things, but it's like, man, I feel sometimes like when people get a little bit of pressure from like people in the field or the fans and stuff, because they're like I said, Dr. Cheyenne, Brian and stuff, they're like, man, y'all giving advice. It's like, man, you could showcase somebody, but to put them on kind of like the firing line, I don't think you need to go that route. But shout out to them. Hopefully it works out, man. I know we breaking down shit, but they solid and stuff like that. They should have given a fuck what anybody says, including myself. They should be like, man, oh well. These motherfuckers just got it wrong. And once they get longevity, everybody gotta kind of eat shit at that point. But shout out to them again. All right, y'all. Peace.